In a minute, we're going to be talking about relations and the vocabulary surrounding relations and functions. So go ahead and grab your pen and your pad and let's get ready to get into it. While you're at it, like, share, and subscribe to the channel. What's up, everybody? My name is Dana Harris with Gurus Math Tutoring, and I'm back again to drop some more math jewels. In this video, we're going to talk about relations and functions. And specifically, right now, we're going to talk about the vocabulary surrounding relations and functions. So relations is just kind of like the word relationship. And so relations mathematically are talking about numbers that are related. Specifically, they have ordered pairs that relates these numbers. And so there are a few terms that you have to know when dealing with relations, and you're going to get into those in just a second. And I don't have my marker, so I'm going to grab it real quick. Whoa! So in this video, as I mentioned, we're going to talk about some things in regards to relations. So we have relations, and relations is basically just some numbers. They're X and Y values that are connected in some way, right? Now, sometimes there's a specific relationship and sometimes there's not. But in regards to relations, we have some things that we want to talk about specifically. So we have a dependent variable, right? And then we have a independent variable, all right? So we have a dependent variable and an independent variable. Now let's talk about how these work. So the dependent variable is a value that depends on the other value, right? It's also another way we look at the dependent variable is the output. Okay, it's the output. Now, the independent variable, it's by itself. It acts independent of the other variable, and this is called the input. Right? So you're going to see in this series of videos how you take the independent variable, you input it into an equation, and the output that you get ends up being the dependent variable. And a lot of times you see them used as X and Y. So in this case, if we're using X and Y, actually X would be, let me use a different color. X would be your independent variable if we're talking about X and Y. Y would be your dependent variable. So your X goes into the equation or into the function, and then the Y comes out of it, okay? And you'll see sometimes there's things called like a function machine. So, well, you might say, well, what is a function? A function is when each independent value is assigned to exactly one dependent value, or every X value is assigned to specifically one Y value. Now, to show you this in a diagram format, many times we use what's called a function machine, right? And it's just a way of teaching, it's just a method of teaching this particular concept, right? So a function machine looks like this, right? And so what goes into the machine is your independent variable or your input, right? We also call it the domain. That's another vocabulary term, domain, right? And so it goes into the machine. Now, the machine is actually going to be an equation, right? And if it is a function, then for each input value or each independent value that goes into the machine or into the equation, it's going to put out exactly one output value for those input values. So once again, if it is a function, then for each individual input value or each value in the domain, it is assigned to exactly one value in the range or the dependent variable or output. So once again, you have the independent variable that goes into the machine or into the equation. It's independent, all right? And then it comes out as the dependent variable or the output or the range. And like I said, for it to be a function, for the relation to be a function, then each individual independent variable is assigned to exactly one output value. And you'll see in this series, if you continue watching the series in regards to relations and functions, you'll see a different breakdown of how functions and relations go together. Always remember this: every relation is not a function, but every function is a relation. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share this video. Thank you so much for rocking with me. Remember, Young Gurus Math Tutoring, I got the solution to your math problems.